It's great to have you here with us tonight on KREM 2 News at 11. I'm Cody Proctor. The #1 ranked Gonzaga Bulldogs took on the #5 ranked Texas Longhorns in a very much anticipated contest tonight and showed to the country why they are the top ranked team. Our own Brenna Green joining us now live from the kennel as the Bulldogs led wire to wire.
Hi, Cody. Yeah, an 86-74 win for Gonzaga tonight. If anyone had any doubts of why this team was ranked #1 in the country, those were erased this evening. The score doesn't suggest it as much, but this was domination for the Zags. And the person who dominated the most for the Bulldogs, none other than Texas native Drew Timme. His mom told us at 6 o'clock that she expected him to be a little spicy tonight out there, that she thought he was going to be motivated playing Texas. And mom knows best, ladies and gentlemen. Timme had 37 points on 15 of 19 shooting, an incredible night for him out there. He also had 7 rebounds. He had 22 points in the first half of the game. Multiple times tonight, Drew Timme had half of Gonzaga's points overall. At one point he had 32 points, Gonzaga had 64 points, and there was another point where when he had 37 points and he had more than half of the Zags points actually. Drew was just on fire this evening. I asked him if he had extra fun out there tonight. He said, this is just kind of normal for me. Meanwhile, Mark Few, very pleased with Drew's effort.
I always have fun when I play. It's a joy to play this game, so that's just me. That's nothing out of the ordinary.
It's huge to have arguably the best player in college basketball, and he played like it tonight. I mean, I don't think he left any doubt tonight. And we were talking in the locker room. I think Andrew would have had 22 assists, but Drew uses 19 dribbles on all his moves. So.
Geez, Drew, you got to spread the love. If we're talking about the biggest moment of the night, though, it easily came at the end of the first half. Rasir Bolton hitting this half-court shot right at the end of the buzzer. Just a completely lucky shot by him. I asked him, by the way, if he knew it was going to go in. He's like, no, I didn't think it was going in at all. But it seemed to work out for sure. Bolton ended up having 16 points tonight. He's had quite an interesting college basketball career. This is his 3rd Division I program. I just asked him what it meant to have a performance like this tonight in the context of what it took to get here.
I think it's big for me, just getting a win like this, a top game, tough matchup, just finally come out with one. So, I mean, I feel like, it's big for me, personally, just to take this win and keep it pushing, get some more.
Tonight, in my estimation, was the biggest game in kennel history, and the fans did not disappoint. This place was rocking. It was impressive. It felt so good after the quietness of the kennel last year. This place was so impressive, actually, that Texas head coach Chris Beard praised them unprompted post-game.
I've been fortunate in my coaching career, coach places where we've developed a home court atmosphere, and it's as good as I've seen with that student section down the sideline. We had a great crowd the other night in Austin, and we're certainly striving to build something like they have here at Gonzaga in terms of student attendance.
Gonzaga's next game is on Monday against Alcorn State. Their next big game is against UCLA in Vegas 2 weeks from now. It's on a Tuesday. And then, of course, they play Duke after that on Friday. By the way, we will be in Vegas for those games, and we'll have complete coverage. Reporting in the kennel, I'm Brenna Green, KREM 2 Sports.
Brenna, thank you so much. Also, we're looking ahead to tomorrow's Seattle Seahawks game against the Green Bay Packers. It'll be a return to the field for both teams' quarterbacks. Packers quarterback Aaron Rodgers now cleared to play after testing positive for COVID-19 last week. Rodgers remained asymptomatic and is expected to return to the field right along with Seahawks quarterback Russell Wilson. Wilson making his return after being benched for 3 games due to a finger injury. Wilson says he rehabbed diligently in the hopes of cutting his recovery time in half. Instead of returning in 8 weeks, he made it back in 4.
I feel great. I feel really close. I'm not 100% yet, but I'm pretty dang close. I would say on the 90 percentile, if not higher. So I feel great. I got great conviction. about what I'm doing, how I'm doing it. My mindset's better than ever.
You can watch the Seahawks play the Green Bay Packers tomorrow right here on KREM 2. Kickoff is at 1:25 p.m. and then be sure to join us for a special edition of KREM 2 News right after the game. Well, there were some clear skies at one point today, then the rain started dropping down again throughout the evening. Meteorologist Michelle Boss is giving us more on what we can expect for the rest of this weekend's forecast.
Well, we're looking at additional rain for the overnight hours. We've picked up some light rain here in the Spokane area from late this afternoon and early evening. Only about 200ths here, but Sandpoint has picked up nearly another ½ inch, and they saw nearly an inch yesterday. So pretty wet weather for those folks. About 1/10 of an inch there out there in Pinehurst, about 1/10 for the Pullman Airport, and looking at light amounts elsewhere across the region. We're still seeing that rainfall across portions of the inland northwest this evening. Again, that will continue overnight. Kind of zooming into the Spokane area. Most of this is pretty light, but we'll see that through early tomorrow morning. And then we're going to kind of switch gears, going from rain to wind. Temperatures are going to be warming up because of these strong southerly winds that are on the way. 41 right now in Spokane, upper 30s in Deer Park and Coeur d'Alene. Hasn't really cooled off much in the last couple of hours, and temperatures may actually go up a little bit during the overnight hours with continued rain showers. Those winds getting pretty strong by tomorrow. We could see gusts up to 45 miles per hour with high temperatures in the upper 50s. Sure won't feel like mid to late November.
Thanks so much, Michelle. Keeping track of some of our other top stories tonight, Spokane Public Library has closed all their branches today after threats were made on social media last night. The library decided to close the branches out of an abundance of caution for staff and the public as Spokane police investigate. Police say those threats were violent and made to an unidentified library location. The closure was only for today. However, all Spokane libraries except for the South Hill branch are regularly closed Sundays and Mondays, meaning most branches will not be reopened until Tuesday. Well, being homeless during the winter months presents its own dangerous challenges, and some city officials say Spokane isn't doing enough to help. But according to Spokane City Mayor Nadine Woodward's office, the city of Spokane is continuing to work on addressing and finding solutions to our area's homelessness issue, and finding those solutions is a work in progress. But the city council says what they're doing isn't working fast enough.
We are doing more than we ever have, but the problem is getting so much worse that I don't know that we're getting ahead of it. And I would say I shouldn't say that. We are not getting ahead of it. And that's the challenge.
Woodward's office says in the past year there's been a focus on securing contracts for heating and cooling centers around the city. Truth Ministries and the Guardians Foundation each entered a year-round contract with the city to provide night-by-night and day-use shelter services. The Salvation Army opens the Way Out Center in mid-December, aimed at housing 60 people at a time. The mayor's office confirmed that next year's proposed budget includes building an additional large shelter outside the downtown area. Over $2 billion in student loan forgiveness will soon be going to public service workers. Education Secretary Miguel Cardona made the announcement yesterday that 30,000 workers should expect to have some of their student loans forgiven as part of the Public Service Loan Forgiveness Program. Now, in the past, that program has had issues with strict requirements for forgiveness. Now borrowers need to meet 3 requirements to be eligible. That's to be employed full-time by a U.S. federal, state, local or tribal government or not-for-profit organization, have direct loans, and make 120 qualifying monthly payments, which is about 10 years of payments. Well, still to come on KREM 2 tonight, more fallout from the Astroworld tragedy as a funeral took place today for one of the victims. We're back after the break.